up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chem Lights and Tracers. This is the after-hour show for the other podcast of Ammo Cans and Crayons. There are 5 of us here.
That was difficult counting, but
Yeah, the public education system.
We got the right number
there.
and the right name.
That's right. So, just the 5 of us hanging out here. I almost said 4 again. Just the 5 of us hanging out, drinking some whiskey. We got some gun news coming out. SHOT Show is going on right now in Las Vegas. The SHOT Show 2025. That's going to be some interesting stuff coming out. And so here we go. Take it away, Luis.
what?
Yeah.
Since
What's
when?
new on SHOT Show 2025?
Yeah. You guys took the time to build this beautiful.
You put us in a slave labor camp. Put us
Well,
in this.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, cheap labor.
Like a slave labor thing is more of a special needs program because I was building it and he was just supervising me.
It
So
was an arts and crafts situation.
Dude, are you drawing SpongeBob?
yeah, I made a doodle bob, but his name is Doodle Robert because it looks like crap.
He's professional.
I'm all self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah,
Self-learning.
self-learning.
Is that
Self-learned.
I hope that's a mustache under his nose.
It's
I
actually
think it's a
his
bow
teeth.
tie.
Oh, okay.
It's the buck teeth.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like a couple.
Joe, that looks
No,
like
it
a
kind
private.
of.
Oh,
Yes.
I see it now. Okay, yeah.
I was
Fix
like,
that.
wait a minute, what is
Hold on.
on his face?
Oh, hang on. Blur it,
Let's put this on camera.
and
See?
then blur it.
Try the different angles so for the glare. Yeah,
Let's see
that's not teeth.
That's not a nose. That's
Those aren't teeth.
Well, that's why I said his name is Robert, all right?
Now you gotta blur that.
you gotta zoom that in and post.
Yeah. And then zoom it in and post.
That's a huge nose.
Johnson. So,
Shot show.
so yeah, Luis, you were following up on some stuff from SHOT Show. You showed me one right now from Palmetto State.
Yeah.
They look like they're getting into some pretty good stuff this year.
Yeah. I'm usually excited for the PSA stuff just because they're usually just cheaper, but it's still decent quality. I think the 570 that they're dropping, it's like a version of the 870 shotgun, but it's supposed to be more modular in their way of saying. A lot of the parts are supposed to, like, from what I was listening to it, it was you can buy it in parts, which I like because I like being able to put it together myself, and you can have the option between either pump or semi-auto off the same receiver. That was one of the major ones. Going back to my previous, like the Jackal, they're getting their 308 out, and it looks like they're doing an upgrade to the original one, so 2.0. The lower receivers are no longer, I guess, mil spec. They're not using standard AR-15 lowers anymore. They got a specialized version.
So they're using their own specific type of
Yeah, for the Jackals,
lower receivers.
for the
Okay.
2.0. At least that's what they're going for.
It's a jackal.
Check them.
I wanted the other one. I wanted the 308.
Yeah, you also told me because you have a Jackal,
Yes.
and I was like, man, you told me that they were coming out with the 308 version, but it was going to be a combat rifle,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, that'd be great, but I want to be able to reach out to like 1,000 yards with it.
Yeah.
That's mainly what I do is I like reaching out and touching something. And you said that this year in SHOT Show they're debuting that they're going to be putting out a precision style
Well, they're
Jackal.
not setting it out. The way they do it is like they throw out a bunch of guns that people wanted to see, and then they let the people vote on which ones they're going to go with. And the marksman version, so the Jackal 10S is what they call it, I think. It's a 308 and it's a 20-inch barrel with a marksman style stock.
Yeah, take my money.
Yeah, I was about to say, look, it's just meant for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, take my money.
Yeah, they do it like a voting system. So they show you a bunch of guns that they're working on, and they let the people decide, okay, well, we want to see more on this one. And then they'll focus mostly on that.
Yeah, I would vote for that.
And then like 3 years later, they'll release something
They'll
completely
release
different.
a version. Of, actually, the Jackal's been pretty.
Speaking about
consistent.
releasing
Yeah.
something,
Please
I
don't.
overheard when I was making the chain link, but they're actually making a civilian 50 BMG.
Yeah, PSA is also that's another one of their concept rifles is a semi-auto 50.
Yeah, that one was going to be more of like a budget-friendly style.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I said civilian.
Compared to other name brands that.
Yeah,
Right.
because the name brands are like.
Well, I wasn't going to
5
say
to
it until they
7
sponsor
grams.
us, but I mean,
Well, yeah, no, we're not gonna say it
Well,
until they
they're-
actually
they're-
sponsor us.
They're
but-
also introduced the new rifle, but that one's mainly for the military. Barrett introduced a 30 millimeter grenade launcher sniper
Yeah.
rifle.
I saw that.
It looks
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going
Very-
after some military contracts on that
It's
one.
very
Oh, yeah.
reminiscent of the X-25 program or X-15 program. I'm trying to remember exactly. But that one got discontinued due to certain issues. You know,
Couple whoopses.
Yeah.
and not so much a couple.
It wasn't
whoopses,
Doge, was it?
No, it was the original program was more like, hey, we can't use this because they found out that you can shoot the grenades at people and then have them detonate after they hit.
So it becomes a WC.
So it's kind of like that.
So Geneva Convention stuff.
Yeah.
What was
The
it?
checklist
Yeah.
comes in.
I mean, I'm a civilian. It doesn't apply anymore.
Yeah, it's
Very true.
It doesn't apply to us.
You
It's
can't buy it either.
Which
Well,
one
Probably
was
pretty
it?
good for hawk hunting, though.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, but there's no recovering the meat on that one.
Hey, it'd already be cut up, man. You just pick
mean,
up
It'd be
pieces.
ground beef.
Make some pork sweet and sour or something. Sweet and sour pork.
Right. It's already be pulled pork.
There was a thing on
Pulled,
on
tossed, exploded.
on future weapons where they were talking about a grenade launcher that you can. I don't know. I don't remember exactly how, but you can set it
It
up
would.
to where it'll detonate after it goes through a window or a
that was
doorway.
the XM program.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Like that? Oh, okay.
So they found out that you can shoot it at people and
See-
then program it so it goes off inside.
I just want one of those like 30 millimeter, I don't know what to call them, revolvers. That,
The
you know,
rotary grenade launcher.
yes, the rotary grenade launcher, just for, beanbag rounds and the net rounds and
That
just to
honestly-
have some fun
That's
with.
the only reason why I want a can launcher, so I can just
Yeah.
shoot
Or,
bags at
or the one in, was it the Terminator? You probably know this one, but I call it the Thumper.
Oh,
Yeah.
The single shot, 30 mil is a thunk.
It's a 40.
You know, oh, it's a 40?
It's a 40.
Yeah.
40 Mike.
I just wonder if I can get it for agricultural purposes.
All
I
right.
mean,
Gophers.
Probably.
Probably.
Gophers and gopher holes.
Hey, you know those squirrels in the trees are pretty fucking big.
No, there goes the trees, though.
These guys make fun of me because I don't have a flamethrower.
How we've talked about this.
I
There's
know.
a whole setup that like fills the gopher holes with the gas and you just
Yeah, but they're talking about like an actual flamethrower,
he needs
not
the
like
whole
that detonator thing that I
No, he needs a backpack
Dude, I-
setup.
yeah, I need like a
I-
backpack.
He wants the Elon
flamethrower.
Musk one, though.
I know a
That's the boring one.
specific PD officer that's where your
the
mom
boring
lives
Yeah,
that has one
yeah, I know. They-
because he used
they-
to be a high school teacher and they do a burning of the letter every homecoming.
Yeah, yeah,
And
but
yeah,
they make fun of me because I don't have a flamethrower.
but why don't you?
I don't know
That's the reason why we're making
Yeah.
fun of you, because you don't have
exactly, but they're all like, "Oh, well, you can get it. It's it's agricultural purposes."
You
Exactly.
have, like, the
I told my
biggest
brother about
reason
it.
To do have it.
I told my brother about it, and he's all like, "The farm could use one."
Yeah, you got a lot.
I
of
mean, if
features
you
that
could
need
write
to
it
be
off,
out.
right? That's something to write off.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's farm equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, the Squirrel Launcher 2000 that we made that fills the hole with, a certain mixture that I can't discuss. And then it uses a spark plug on the end and it collapses the
Yes.
squirrel holes. Yeah,
Well, it's not squirrel holes; it's gopher holes.
no, on the farm it's squirrels.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
They dig holes.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did not know squirrels burrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have two types of squirrels.
I guess they got to bury their nuts somehow.
We have two types of squirrels on the farm. We have gray squirrels and fox squirrels. Fox squirrels have like the red belly on the bottom, and they usually live up in the trees. And then the gray squirrels are the ones that burrow through the ground.
Which is the one that got the Academy Award for the best?
That was a fox squirrel.
That was a fox squirrel?
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
fox
okay,
squirrel.
cool.
The best.
So real quick.
He was so dramatic.
So real quick, we were talking earlier before this show and before the
Before this show was rudely interrupted.
yes,
Take
and before the ammo cans and crayons. I gotta hear the story again just because it's hilarious. Is your flashlight tag with a certain government agency?
Okay, so
Gotta hear this story.
let me paint a scene for you. Okay,
Oh, here you can here
you can use this little tablet. to paint a scene.
Want some crayons?
We got crayons now.
Sicily, 1912.
For our Marine friends, we do have red. Nice and tasty.
The blue ones are the best. Just saying.
Careful saying that.
Yeah, careful, man, careful.
Anywho, okay, so this was it had to have been like 20 years ago, and we're up in the desert above my grandparents' place, and we're running around and we're shooting guns and drinking beer and stuff like that, right? And we were in my dad's Jeep. We were running low on gas, so I was like, well, let's go to the shop. We'll put gas, and then we'll come back up. So we take the back roads and come down to the shop. And we pull up to the shop, and there's a Border Patrol truck sitting right down the road from the shop. And I was like, well, let's just go say hey, let them know who we are, that, this, that, whatever.
Friendly neighbors.
So we roll up, and I was
This is
like,
our land.
I was like, hey, partner, how's it going? And he's like, oh, it's going all right. And I was like, oh, okay. Catch anybody? And they're like, no, we got this group moving through here and this and that. So we're just kind of watching them and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we're here to get some gas and stuff. And our friend Matt, who was already 3 sheets to the wind, leans over the side of the Jeep. And, I mean, we're only maybe the distance of this table. And he leans over the side of the Jeep, and he looks at the Border Patrol agent, and he's like, hey, do you want to play a game? And you can see the Border Patrol take his hand off the steering wheel and, move it to his side. And he's all like, what game? And Matt leans over and goes, it's called Spotlight Tag. And the agent has a weird, bewildered look on his face. And he's all like, Spotlight Tag? And he's like, yeah. And he leans over the side of the Jeep with one of these, I think it was a 1 million candle spotlight, one of those big ones that you plug into the cigarette lighter.
It's upside down.
And so
No sound behind.
So he leans over the side of the Jeep with the spotlight, and like I said, I mean, we're only this far from each other, and he turns it on and lights up the entire inside of this agent's, his Tahoe, and he goes, Tag, you're it. And I'm just like, oh crap. Try to start the Jeep. I get the Jeep started, tear off down the road, turn off the headlights, and I know the farm, so I know where I'm going and everything. And we take off, right? And I was like, screw it, we'll just go get gas later. So we go back up into the desert, and we're hanging out, and probably about an hour and a half goes by, and all of a sudden we hear a vehicle, but we can't see it. We don't see any headlights, and it sounds like it's getting closer and closer and closer. And finally, on the other side of the target range comes a Border Patrol truck, blacked out, everything. And he rolls up on us hard. I was waiting for dudes to jump out of the back doors and everything like that. I was like, oh, crap.
Jump out, boys.
Yeah, exactly. And he pulls up next to us, and, we got a beer in one hand and a gun in the other, and we're like, oh, no. And he's like, hey, you guys, come here. And we're all like, oh, shit, we're in so much trouble. And we walk up, and he's all like, hey, were you guys over here off of this road over here? And we're like, yeah. And he's all like, I got a message for you. And we're all like, oh, man, he's going to chew us out. Here we go. And he leans over, the spotlight shines it and goes, Tag, you're it, and then takes off. And we're all standing there, and we're just like, dude, did we just get owned at our own game?
Yeah, you just gotta play it your own game, dude.
So we jump in the Jeep and we take off. Dude turned into a ghost. He
Blacked out and just gone.
And I was I've been tracking since I was a lot younger, and dude, I don't know if he got airlifted out or his tires turned inward like that, and it was like one of those flying DeLoreans or something. I don't know.
He hit
One of
8
those
miles an
cartel
hour.
tunnels.
Dude, he disappeared, man. I was like, whoa.
Who do know about the border, the trucks? They're really noticeable, really easy to spot because they're white. How the hell do you lose a white truck?
No, it's
Dude,
not
as
it's
big
not
and as
the-
white as I am, I freaking disappear.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I am ninja.
It's not
You've seen
that,
me a couple of times.
dude. It's not that I couldn't see the truck. It's that his tire tracks just disappeared. Yeah.
They threw the back tire. They threw the spare tires over the back with the chains. And
I
then
guess
just
I
drag
don't
erase
know.
their tracks.
Yeah, I don't know if he like.
I've seen that out by my
I don't know
house.
if he like Scooby Dooed me or something, and he pulled up and then backed in behind some bushes and jumped out with some branches and just like covered up his tracks, and we just went flying right by him or something. I don't know, but he disappeared like into thin air. Poof.
Drove straight into a bush.
No, dude, it gets
He's in the
better.
ditch.
It gets better. Okay, so we were about a year, 2 years go by, and we're hanging out in the hangar, and we're out there drinking beer and shooting guns and stuff again.
I see
And
a pattern.
yeah, it could all be a figment of my imagination. I don't know.
Alcoholism.
So we're hanging out at the hangar and stuff, and all of a sudden we start hearing rotors. And I was just like, dude, that's a helicopter.
Good old
And
bird.
one of our friends, he's hanging out near the Jeep. He picks up the spotlight and he starts shining it up in the air. And I'm just like, dude, I wouldn't do that if I were you. And he's all like, oh, what are they going to do? It's not like you can find them anyway. I kid you not. Like maybe 120 feet, maybe 100 feet off the deck. All of a sudden, this bright light comes on and lights up the entire tarmac of the hangar. And I'm just like, dude, we're it again. It was a Border Patrol helicopter running completely no lights. These dudes are probably running NVGs and thermals and stuff like that from the inside of the cockpit. And they light us up. And to this day, this happened, dude, 15, 20 years ago. To this day, we're still it.
Dude, you're losing at your own game.
I know.
That's horrible.
You started it and you're losing.
Dude, I didn't start it.
Did
Okay.
they claim that you are it when they lit you up?
Because technically,
If they did not say you're it, technically they are still it.
yeah, because they touched.
Well, no,
No, 'cause
technically
you're it.
we're still it because the Border Patrol agent that came up out from behind
They're it.
the target
So
range lit us
yell-
up.
Yelling at the chopper doesn't count.
No,
Okay.
no, because he didn't hit him with the spotlight.
Oh, okay.
He was looking over here,
Tracers.
and the helicopter was over here. But like all of a sudden,
It's like a Hollywood premiere.
like before the light came on from the helicopter, you could feel the rotor wash
Yeah.
coming down on you. Like that's how I know he was low to the deck. And I was just like, dude, I mean, like you could hear it and you could feel it in your ears, and you're just like, whoa, that is really close. And for him to be able to light up like 150 feet in every direction, he had to have been high up, but not too high.
Yeah.
But man, I think we're still it.
Well, I could tell you this past summer I had the privilege of riding in we'll say a department chopper. We won't say what department or anything like that, but we cruised the border a little bit, and man, some of the technology they have on those cameras
Oh yeah, no,
is it wasn't thermal, but it wasn't just regular camera either.
Is it
just-
one of those super cameras where you can actually see a moth fart. Like,
Pretty much.
did it have
But
like a
the image it
purple-
had,
Did it have like a purple and yellow hue to him, like for heat and stuff?
it wasn't thermal. If that's what you're going for.
Yeah, because you have one of those thermal deals, and you have a setting on it that's like purple and orange and yellow or whatever, right?
the hue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when it picks up heat, it's like purple or yellow or something like that.
Yeah,
But-
but that's not military grade. I mean, back in the 80s, that's probably military grade, but what they have now is like,
It was almost like looking at like a photo negative, if that makes sense.
Oh, the
Like white and blacks?
White and black.
Not white and black. Like it was colorized, but not full. Like reds were blues, whites were blacks, blacks were whites. It was like looking at the negative. Like whatever the light spectrum is, it's the opposite of that.
Huh.
But
So what
we
you're saying?
were several hundred feet off the ground, and you could read the manufacturer of the dude's snaps or buttons on his shirt.
So what you're saying is I need to step up my game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little behind the times.
Got it.
I'd buy that for $1.
You're not in $40,000 of debt.
But that was
Not yet.
Gonna be.
Not yet, but give me a couple of months.
That was definitely
Shot show's going on right now, so I don't know. There might be some new stuff I might be getting
well. That's why you're not going to SHOT Show. That's why you're here.
with this year.
Yeah.
This
Right.
year. But
Good.
hopefully we get to go.
I don't know. Gun show's tomorrow.
Gun show is tomorrow.
But you're escorted tomorrow, guys. You have a job.
He takes off on his own. I have to keep an eye on this one.
Because
Do I need to get you one of those electric collars and you can just like
Yes.
zap them and bring them back?
Yes.
Why would dude?
gotta
I thought we
find
were
it.
friends, man. Come on.
If one of us got it, all of us got to do it now, man.
Well, these guys sit here and they lollygag and looking at like high points and stuff.
No.
I'm
you
just
look at
like-
the high points.
No,
I'm looking at knives and
Okay.
other cool stuff.
I got to admit though, with all of us, including those person that is not here, and yes, I said those person, but I was going to say those of us, but with the collection we have, like you say, those are rookie numbers. Got to bump those numbers up.
yeah.
How do none of us have a single throwaway high point?
Well, for my other channel, I plan on buying one or two for testing purposes. So, like,
Like test if you throw it at your feet, at their feet, you could get away with. Well, he was armed.
Probably.
I mean, but no, like you know how not Kentucky Ballistics, but
Another channel.
I think it's Demolition Ranch. Like he shoots at his own guns. I'm not gonna do that with one of these, you know. So if I'm gonna do bullet testing or something like that, like MythBuster style, and I wanted like hit two bullets at the same time, like I'm not gonna use my nice
Okay.
guns. I'm gonna just use
On the other
cheap $125 guns.
pro tip: if you're shooting this way, stand over here
A pro tip.
behind something.
Pro tip: if I'm shooting like this, I'm gonna be behind the truck. It's called cover.
Well, just make sure the truck's not one of these, because
yeah.
when you start doing this, it's not a good thing.
Pro tip: don't go with Mike whenever he does stuff like this.
Dude, I kid you not. The last time I went shooting with him,
Yeah, no.
went out, he got a new little.
We've been all touched by Mike's
I would-
invitations.
We're all figments of his imagination. We're actually dead and buried out in the desert.
Let's
these-
put it like
these
this:
two
where,
guys-
where Trump was like a couple inches from like a headshot, I'm pretty sure I was a couple inches from getting trumped. I mean, I was almost
that's a
trumped
new
and
meaning
almost
for being
chained
trumped.
So
at the same time.
So these two guys right here, okay, we usually hang out on Thursdays, and after we go to the gym and like hang out and stuff like that, we go to a Denny's, and the same waitress works every single time we go there.
She's awesome.
She is really cool, and
Special guest star.
these guys sit here and they're all like, "Oh no, we're just a figment of her imagination."
No, you're
No.
Or
Yours.
my imagination. And Luis has a theory that like something went horribly, horribly wrong, and I ended up burying them, and the guilt weighs so heavily on me that they're a projection of my imagination, so they're not really actually here.
Look, I didn't do nothing and I see him.
So
No, it was because you're also part of the projection.
yeah, apparently,
He
I'm
did
not
go
real.
shooting with Mike.
Yeah,
before,
you went
right?
shooting with Mike. You didn't come back.
yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
that's
but
the
I saw
joke
you
behind it.
before I went shooting with Mike.
No, are you sure?
Yes.
Or is this what
When-
Mike
when I-
wants to say he remembers?
When I heard the bang whiz, and it was after I met you guys.
See, there you go.
That's Mike filling in the blanks. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
But
so,
how do you explain me having video of you throwing axes?
so
You don't.
Oh crap!
That's
So-
a figment of his.
It's all,
That's
it's
a
all his
figment of my
imagination.
imagination.
This is all you.
yeah.
You are
this is all
self-centered.
this is all my doing. Okay, like I am apparently just sitting in a room talking to my four imaginary friends.
Well, actually,
Right.
wait, have you done?
Have you?
2, 3. Hey, he got the number right. There is 4 of us.
Yeah,
Well,
So-
5, but one's not here.
yeah, one's not here. Anyway, so we go to this Denny's, right? And And they sit there and they tell the waitress, "Oh no, we're just a figment of his imagination." So I had to work late on one Thursday, so I didn't get to go to the gym. And they're like, "Oh, well, we'll just meet you over there." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I walk in.
The imaginary friends get there before you.
Yeah, dude.
No, I got there before them. And I walk in and the waitress is all like, "Hey, you're by yourself. That's good, right?" And I was just like, "What?"
You convinced her that you guys. Oh, gee.
No, dude, they told her about it. They told her about it, and now she's running with it. It's hilarious, dude.
I think the best part of this whole story is one
So
of
you're
the times
getting-
that we went, she had actually printed out. She knew what to do. She separated our checks because she knew, like, all right, 3 guys aren't gonna be one of us. So she separated our checks, but she printed out a 4th receipt with all our items attached to it.
And she brought
And
me
she
the
brought
one
me the
receipt.
And she goes, out of nowhere, she goes, "You know what's weird? I've seen you come in here like the 3rd time, like
You keep
you
eating
keep
for
eating
3 people.
Okay. All right. We got to do this again. But either Rusty, who of course is not here, who was on the last show, Casey, or myself need to go. Just be like, "Oh, it's spreading. It's getting worse.
Yeah.
It's progressive."
So I walked in that time, and she's like, "Hey, you're here by yourself. That's good, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, the doctor's put me on new meds." And she's like, "Oh, that's good. So you don't see them, right?" And I was just like,
Like Mike's having a hard time, like,
dude,
this
for
this chick is literally gaslighting me into thinking that.
for like a split second, I was just like, "Shit, what if it's really real?"
Maybe it is. We still haven't verified
What,
that.
what
Which
if
means
they,
we're not. And
Again, we're out buried in the desert.
yeah,
somewhere.
apparently that's the theory behind
We've
it.
all been hit by shrapnel at some point.
I know where I'm buried, or at least where I was hit.
Well, technically, you were drowned at the pool party that we had
No,
at his mom's
I don't
house.
remember the. Oh,
Now you remember.
Hang on. Yeah, because I hadn't met you before that.
very true. You took a while to walk into that party too.
That was funny.
Now
You're
you
over
remember.
there for that one, too.
Yeah, so his mom set up a surprise birthday party at Peter Piper Pizza, and
Which is
we
where
were all-
they host children's parties.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's
I
like
hadn't
Chuck
had
E.
a
Cheese,
birthday
but
party in a long time, and
Yeah,
I
it's
was
a
just
Chuck
like,
E. Cheese, and it's has games and pizza and everything else, but it's better than Chuck E. Cheese. So his mom invited us all, and then his family was there, and we're waiting for him. And apparently, his mom told the manager too, and they were going to announce it on the intercom as soon as he walked in too. Like everybody was on it, and we even hid behind the building and everything else. Our vehicles behind the building, so he didn't. He just thought it was just family, and it wasn't even a surprise party because his mom told him that she needed him to bring.
To pick her up.
I needed
To pick her
I
up
needed
because
to
she
pick
was
her
at a
up.
party.
Oh,
Yeah,
pick her up.
I needed to pick her up because she was at, I think it was one of our friends' son's birthday parties or something like that. But I was talking on the phone with someone, and it was one of those conversations where it's like, okay, yeah, no, that's cool, okay, yeah,
we're looking at
yeah.
you in the window.
As
So,
he
I
paced
was
back
talking-
and forth in front of the door for like 30 minutes.
So
Every time
I
we
was
got close, we all got excited. Like,
here we
oh
go,
my God.
here we go.
so
The
I'm
manager would
talking
see you
on the
like
phone.
start to reach for the door, and he'd run to the mic,
Yeah,
Oh, my ex-manager.
and then you just hold the door and keep walking. And it's like,
yeah. To
Well,
where
it was
it
an
turned into
intense-
the whole restaurant waiting for this
Just
dude to
staring
come
at
in.
the
everyone else caught on that realized we were waiting. And then you
Hey.
finally open the door, and it's for other people, and you stay outside.
In my defense, it was a very impelling conversation, and I was just like, okay, this is a great conversation. Yeah. And my mom told
You just
me
said it was like, okay.
well,
yeah,
I mean, it was like I knew I needed to get off the phone, but at the same time I was just like,
You
I
were
don't want to get
engaged.
off the phone. Yeah, I was engaged in the conversation. So
Wait,
I
you
was
engaged?
well,
In the
in the conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'll vouch from on that one. I've been, yeah.
So-
I'm getting strong armed.
Yeah, so I'm engaged in this conversation, and but I know that I need to get off the phone.
Right.
But my mom told me that she just needed to get picked up. So I was like, okay, well, she knows I'm outside.
She could walk.
She'll just walk out any minute. I'll just stand here and I'll talk on the phone. After like 10 minutes, I was like, okay, well, she's not coming out. So I'll go ahead and I'll get off the phone and then I'll go in and, obviously I'll find her. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, this is a great talk and everything like that. I'll talk to you later. All right, text me. Bye. Hang up the phone. I walk in and apparently I screwed up the announcer guy. Like he was all like, you know what? Screw it. This dude's going to be on the phone too long and this and that. I got things I got to do. So he like walks off from the thing or whatever and doesn't even announce me coming in. I see all my friends there.
You walked past the table, like you walked all the way
Well,
towards where they serve food.
Here's the worst part. So, your recollection of this is slightly skewed. You were still on the phone when he walked in. You were talking.
Yeah.
They announced you.
Oh, did they?
We have it recorded that they announced you.
I thought I hung up outside. And, I
And
was
then
like,
you
okay,
saw
I'll talk to
all
you
of
later.
Still
us.
on the phone.
You saw all of us. You saw your family sitting all at the table with the pizza and the cake and the Spider-Man and everything.
That rainbow cake.
And
Yeah, that was messed up.
so we'll get a picture of that to add in. But then you're like, oh, I got to go. All my friends are here. Apparently, I'm having a surprise party.
Well, everybody got mad at me. They're all like, oh my God, you were standing outside on the phone forever. Well, next time, tell me it's a surprise party and I'll be on time.
The whole point of the surprise party.
How can you be...
I
Now-
was late to my own birthday
No,
party.
on
apparently.
fairness, you were on time for your own party. You just walked in really late.
Really late. It was only like 6 minutes.
But the manager was even like, got on the mic, was like, is he going to walk in yet?
At one point, he's like, put the phone away and come inside.
He was announcing that's what got the whole restaurant looking. Is he was like, get off the phone and come in. And he looks over at us. Is he gonna come in anytime soon?
And the bad part is that was actually the same Peter Piper I used to work at. So the guy who was on the intercom, he looks at me and he was like, "Is your friend gonna come in anytime soon?" Because
I got things to do.
I got things to do. I'm like,
Right.
I don't know. I hear him on the phone.
He was waiting on the mic, like standing at the front counter waiting for you to walk in.
Yeah, the surprise got totally deflated.
By the time you walked in,
just
it's
fine.
like, yeah,
It
whatever.
was already a flat tire. It was like, hey,
The
finally
pizza was
shit.
gone. We were already looking at the cake. Like, all right, I want my slice already.
But we couldn't cut into it yet because
Someone was on the phone.
it was
Yeah.
a special cake
Well,
for.
I'm sorry I ruined my birthday party for you guys.
You're the one that wanted it at Peter Piper Pizza, dude.
Okay,
You ruined it for yourself.
Yeah,
first-
you initiated this whole thing. You
Okay,
do realize that.
First of all, I sat there. It was the same thing as like when you get new shoes. Nobody ever asks you if you can run fast in your new shoes.
Like after
And-
you grow out a certain size, they don't have lights anymore, dude.
Yeah, if
Like,
they don't have
I'm
lights,
sorry.
they know you don't run fast.
Dude,
Okay, they
I'm
were not-
41 and I would totally rock lights with shoes or
hell yeah.
lights with shoes. Shoes with lights.
Okay,
Heelys.
we talked about this earlier. Your brother has a pair. And what's great is that they were not in on the earlier cast. And we talked about shoes with lights and that your brother has a pair. So the fact that this all came full circle again.
Yeah.
Now you want a pair of shoes with lights.
Okay, but not Crocs though.
They're shoes with lights.
I don't want Crocs.
Hey, Crocs are
Are they the ones with like the headlights?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was gonna say, I was
my
about to
brother
buy
has a pair of Crocs with headlights on them. So every time he goes to take his trash out, he just puts on his Crocs and he
So-
puts the headlights on. I mean, I got to admit, it's pretty cool,
See.
but at the same time, it's just like I haven't given up on sex yet. So I mean,
But he has admitted that he's open to the fuzzy ones.
all the
if
ones
I
that
did,
Sherpa lining?
if I
Yes,
did
the
get a
Sherpa
pair
lining.
of Crocs, the only ones I would ever get would be the ones with the fuzzy linings in them, just because they look like they would keep your feet warm and they would be comfortable.
How about some Heelys?
Oh, I would rock Heelys. I mean, I'd fall and break an arm or something, but I would totally rock them.
Right.
There's a guy I've seen.
Well, when you get
cut
older,
his-
you lose bone density. So, that's, I'm out.
My mom wants
Drink
me.
milk.
My mom wants me to get on the roof or like trim palm trees and stuff like that, and I'm just like, look, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm afraid I'm not afraid of falling and breaking something. I'm afraid of falling and not dying.
See,
because that's going to hurt a lot.
it's not the fall that kills you; it's the sudden stop at the end.
That's right.
The fall feels kind of nice.
Yeah, the fall's the fun
It's a stop that's
It's the
another
stop that
story.
sucks.
Yes.
Sudden violent stop.
As someone that has fallen down a mine shaft, it is not fun.
There's a
Was it
story
yours?
there.
There is a story there.
And Tom, take it away.
So you said you fell down a mine shaft. Was
So-
it really yours?
Well, I never said it was my mine shaft.
You said mine.
Mine,
Yeah,
like
mine.
M-I-N-E.
It's still.
Well, that's still mine.
gold
Is
mine.
it yours?
Like
yours.
Your
so.
shaft.
This one in particular was a garnet mine.
Okay.
Okay, out in I'm not going to say the town, but not too far from here,
What state?
New Mexico.
All right.
Before the checkpoint from here. Anyway, so I'm on my second senior year, and me, a bunch of my buddies, and our teacher that it wasn't a field trip, but it was like, hey, at this time on this day, I'm heading out to this location, but from this starting point, and if you happen to follow me out there, I can't stop you. It's free country.
And bring beer and
Well, this was my second senior year, so technically still not old enough, but there was
stopped you?
alcohol. Anyway, so we go out there, and we're in this garnet mine, and it's like a walkthrough mine. Like you can start on one side and just kind of walk through the other. But there was a section that he had not yet explored. He was a geology teacher, right? So he's into rocks. And
don't knock the geology people.
I think y'all talked about this on the last, chem lights and tracers is, the dude that likes rocks.
Yeah.
But
I'm not retarded, but I like rocks.
exactly. So we rappel down into this portion of the mine shaft, and it's. I swear, the older I get, the deeper it gets. Shut up. But give or take about 30 to 35 foot drop. Right.
So really, it was like 7 feet.
No, it was bigger than that because I couldn't touch the top.
That's true, because you are like 12 feet
And,
tall.
and at 15 feet, I would have been able to jump and grab the top. But anyway,
you jump?
I don't so much jump as I push the earth away from me.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds
He's
more
kinda
like
like Chuck Norris. He doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll complete a push up.
Yeah.
But or push down in this case. But so me, three of my buddies, I think it was three or four of us, and the geology teacher, we rappel down into the section of the mine
You
shaft.
guys laugh at me because I get the numbers wrong.
I was giggling.
Yeah, they're not sitting here for me to count.
No.
It's the worst type of autistic.
You would think if he was a figment of my imagination, like I would know the number
Or he'd know the
No.
story.
or know the story.
You don't know the number. That's the thing.
Well, he doesn't know the number earlier. Crap. Anyway,
That's why it keeps changing.
we all rappel down in, tied off our own Swiss seats, rappel down in. Teacher rappels down in, but he's 3 sheets to the wind. So he can't get his ascension gear to work. Finally, after a while, he gets his ascension gear to work enough, and he makes it out of the hole. Throws over a wire emergency ladder. Kind of like you see in the movies they throw it out of the choppers.
Yeah.
But this is just like pure wire. So it's the wire sides, wire rungs, and we're all down there and we're waiting for him to toss it over and all that. And everyone has a song stuck in their head. This was 20 plus years ago.
Was yours? I have a lovely bunch of coconuts.
No.
Oh.
I thought it was Fraggle Rock.
No, worse.
Oh.
So everyone but me had Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous stuck in their head.
Oh.
Stuck in my head was,
What song?
and I'm sure one of you is going to tell me what the band is right now. It was Drowning Pool. Let the bodies hit the floor. That is what is stuck in my head. Okay. So a little foreshadowing here.
Was this before the fall or like as
This
you
is
were
before.
falling?
No, this is before.
It's right before, so it was a foreshadowing.
We are waiting for the drunken educator to throw the wire ladder over or whatever he was going to give us. So we're all talking about what songs stuck in our head. We're just whatever. So as everyone's climbing out, you're supposed to climb this thing sideways, as to not like rock backwards. Like you don't climb it like a regular ladder. You climb it like
One
from the
front,
side.
yeah.
So you're actually like on the side of the ladder climbing this way instead of this way. Anyway, first buddy goes out and we're all like holding the ladder away from the rocks so the rocks don't protrude into the rungs of the ladder. I'm last man in the hole. I have nobody to keep the ladder straight or anything like that. Mind you, I'm also the biggest guy. I'm swinging all over the place. I say, screw it. I can't climb this thing sideways. I'm just going to climb it regular. I'm about 5 feet from the top, and I can't get my foot into the rung because there's a rock protruding between the rungs. And you always maintain 3 points of contact, right? 2 arms and a leg, 2 legs and an arm, but you only move 1 limb at a time. I have both my arms and 1 leg secured. And I'm trying to get my other leg into the rung. And it won't, again, because there's a rock protruding. The rung my other leg is on breaks.
Oh shit!
So I'm now hanging from this wire ladder. It's like a 12 or 14 gauge wire, which isn't very thick. Probably no thicker than this cord.
Oh, no.
And it's across the crease of my fingers. And I know I'm about 5 feet from the top because my buddy of mine that's an inch taller than me was laying on his stomach, proned out with his arm down the hole, grabbed my hand. He's an inch taller than me, but he's like 100 pounds lighter. And I'm like, nah, dude. If I grab your arm and you try to pull me up, you're going to end up coming down. I end up wrapping my arms like through the rungs to support the sides of the ladder on my forearm. And after still trying to get my footing, trying to adjust, my arms just finally give out. And I just see my fingers release. I go, and I think I went, shit. And then I hit the bottom.
So yeah, like 10 feet.
I woke up hearing the girl I was with at the time screaming bloody murder at the top of the hole. One of my other friends that I need to bring in to meet you guys, just like, oh shit. Like
Shane goes,
yeah. And I hear the teacher saying, it's okay.
I'm fired. I'm fucking fired.
I'm so done.
All I heard is him saying, he's okay. He landed on his feet. Well, I'm like regaining I blacked out on the way down. And I think that's what saved me.
Was it like in slow motion and like
See?
and the like doves are flying out of the hole?
I
and
wasn't
stuff?
just like coasting down. No, seeing my fingers release was slow motion. And then I don't remember anything other than the ex screaming, my buddy saying, oh, damn. And the teacher saying, it's okay. He landed on his feet. And I remember trying to regain my breath because I got the air knocked out of me. Oh, yeah. Trying to say, no, I didn't. And ended up, long story short, they threw another rope over. I tied it back off to my Swiss seat, climbed up. They lowered the ladder until the broken rung was on the ground. Climbed about a third of the way. And I was like, okay, I can't go anymore. They pulled all the slack, and I just kind of like hung there. Like some kind of poor, rescuee just kind of floating off the helicopter.
take me away.
And then, sad to say, the boulder they were braced against started moving. So I had to finish climbing out.
The only thing
fun.
The only thing I take away from this story is the missed opportunity for somebody to yell, it puts the lotion in the basket.
I'm sure somebody did. Now
you were just unconscious for that part.
Now I was still in high school, my second senior year, but from that point on, the teacher referred to me as the human measuring tape. Because, you know, you like drop a rock down a hole and you count the seconds until it lands. Yeah, I was the rock.
Was it 14 seconds?
Hey, but what everybody wants to know, did you guys get some garnets?
We actually kind of took out some C4 the next trip and collapsed part of the mine, but found a huge vein of turquoise. So, if y'all want to make a road trip,
I want to know where you got
I
the
know where to
C4.
go.
We got more
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Well, there was
I want turquoise, man. I want to see what-
there was a set of train tracks there too that used to be there.
Was it the Underground Railroad?
I didn't go that far.
It's
Didn't go
under.
this far.
I think I have an idea where you're talking
It's
about.
underground now, but it was above ground. But another trip, the teacher took his cousin out there, and we were playing again with this C4, and when we found all this turquoise, all of a sudden we became part of the Floridian underwater excavation team. That all this land was part of Florida and underwater at some point because we had an armed charge and we're trying to get these people to leave.
Well, guess what? You were part of that club now, and now you're a part of a list.
Welcome to the list.
Yeah,
Oh,
welcome to the list.
Like I always say, between you, me, and the alphabet boys listening in on the other line.
Oh yeah. So,
Yeah, but they've been decocked, so
That's true.
Trump said they've been decocked.
well, that was a thrilling and compelling story. I enjoyed it.
I'm sorry, I wasn't playing tag with Border Patrol and
He was busy.
federal agents. I was.
He was too busy falling down a
And
mine
playing with
shaft
C4.
and playing with C4 apparently. So, but well, all right, guys, that's all the time we got for today. Join
yeah,
us.
we're about empty.
Join us next time for another episode of Chem Lights and Tracers. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe, follow, share it with friends, do all that other stuff that they
And
say.
comment what you guys like, what you don't like.
But
Yeah,
before
give
you
us,
We take constructive criticisms.
but before you completely sign off, we got to hear from Rusty.
Oh yeah. Rusty says that in part to your mineshaft story and everything like that, talking about C4, the only thing he has to say is,
Yup, felonies, baby.
that's it for us for this time, guys. Join us next time.